Lee predicts why Trump will always have upper hand against DC politicians. Much has been made of the deal Trump made with the Democrats over the objection of Paul Ryan and the Republicans. But it was a genius move and one oft predicted. Because Trump gave Paul Ryan and the GOP a chance. Advertisement. Instead of coming in and going for bipartisan foxes, he let Ryan and the GOP have control. They promised him easy sailing and they couldn't even repeal Obamacare. Total fail. So Trump, ever the deal maker, and he took a lot of heat for letting Paul Ryan try it his way, went to option B. Advertisement. If the GOP can't get anything done, he will form a coalition with the GOP and the Dems and make it work somehow. This is what the swamp fears most, the breaking of gridlock in Washington, because they all get rich and keep their jobs with gridlock while the American people suffer. Not with Trump in charge. As former head of the RNC Michael Steele clearly explains in this article from the Huffington Post. So, let me just say straight up that, in answer to your question, the Republican Party still has this fight to go through, and they still have this reckoning. Because what they've done is they've elected someone who is not of their caste. He's not a Republican in the sense that Paul Ryan is a Republican or Reince Priebus is a Republican. He is a guy who is a populist, and he was able to, as we saw with Bernie Sanders, shake up the system. The difference is, his shake-up was more successful than Bernie's. The Republican Party has someone who's not going to move the party further right. It's iron facts going to bring the party more to the center. I believe that Donald Trump, at the end of the day, is going to govern as a pragmatic populist. Here's why: on big-ticket items, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's transportation, whether it's health care, whether it's a whole host of things, if he can't get the deal done with Paul Ryan, he's going to work with Nancy Pelosi. He's going to work with Chuck Schumer. And that's the flexibility that he has, that a traditional Republican president would not have. It would be harder for him to do. And so, I just kind of look at this, and I get the feel, externally, that Donald Trump has the upper hand here in many respects. And the party is going to come more to him, which will, to the core of your question, really put stress and strain on those fissures that exist within the party. And there will be, I predict, some real moments where the party's going to go in one direction and the president's going to want to go in another. And that Republican label is not going to be strong enough to hold that relationship together. Correct. Trump has and will always have the upper hand with these DC politicians. Breaking: Trump to hire Fox News pundit for role on WH Communications team. Breaking news from World Politicus will be causing a big stir today, as President Trump has made a big new hire for his communications team. The president has picked Fox News pundit Mercedes Schlapp to become a member of his communications department. She'll be given a senior role, according to 3 White House sources with knowledge of the hire. The sources also said that the selection of Schlapp is being met with a positive reaction from White House Chief of Staff John Kelly and Deputy National Security Advisor Dinah Powell. Advertisement: Schlapp is married to American Conservative Union leader Matt Schlapp. She served in the Bush administration and as a spokeswoman for various Spanish media channels. Schlapp is a consultant with the public affairs firm Cove Strategies. President Trump has long been a fan of Schlapp. At CPAC he thanked Matt and his very incredible wife and boss, Mercedes. When I watch them on television defending me, nobody has a chance. In the past, Mercedes also hasn't been afraid of constructive criticism. She mentioned that if she were a part of the White House communication team, she would double down on reforming the tax code instead of focusing on immigration. Advertisement: If I were part of the White House team, I would say red flag. We need to talk about tax reform today until that bill is signed, Mercedes said. Well, now she is a part of the White House team. Do you think Mercedes has President Trump's best interests in mind, or are comments like the above a warning sign about her? Do you think this is a good Breaking: Gowdy subpoenas FBI and DOJ. Gowdy just took a big swing at the deep state, issuing subpoenas to the FBI and Department of Justice. The Young Conservatives has the story of Gowdy's crusade for justice. The subpoenas relate to vital concerns of national security surrounding the Trump dossier. The debunked dossier was spread by BuzzFeed News with absurd and false allegations of sexual impropriety in Russia by President Trump. One of the most upsetting parts of the story is that it has emerged that the FBI might have paid for the false material. Advertisement: Gowdy has been looking for answers, but they haven't been forthcoming. Now he's reached the end of his patience and his House Intelligence Committee has issued a subpoena to the FBI and DOJ. Gowdy wants to know what connection the FBI or DOJ has with the writer of the dossier, one Christopher Steele. He also wants to know whether the FBI was involved in actively spreading the malicious report. This development comes after months of Gowdy and his investigators trying to get information from the FBI and DOJ related to the Russia investigation. They sent multiple requests to FBI and DOJ asking for pertinent evidence related to the supposed Trump-Russia link. And in return? We got nothing, Gowdy said. The witnesses have not been produced and the documents have not been produced. Advertisement: Are you surprised? This Russia-Trump conspiracy was cooked up from the start, obviously. The dossier is a pile of garbage and the chance that elements of the FBI may have actually helped procure it is absolutely bonkers. This is treason against the President of the United States if it's true. Do you think Gowdy's subpoena will turn anything up or do you think the FBI will continue to obstruct justice? Sarah Huckabee Sanders absolutely destroyed Joy Behar on live TV today. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders knows how to put the fake news media in its place. She also knows how to respond to exactly the kind of snarky, sarcastic attacks of liberal know-it-alls like Joy Behar. She proved that with glowing colors Wednesday on The View. As the Daily Caller is reporting, this was a real smackdown of epic proportions. In typical fashion, Behar decided to insult President Trump, saying that 95% of what he says is lies. Advertisement: Huckabee Sanders wasn't going to take Behar's nonsense and called out the shrill harpy for her hypocrisy. The problem with that, Joy, is that you are doing exactly what we are talking about and pushing a false narrative, Huckabee Sanders said. The PolitiFact report Behar was lying about actually found that 95 out of 158 claims by Trump were false or pants on fire. His overall lie percentage according to PolitiFact is 78%, not 95%. But anyway, as we all know, PolitiFact is extremely liberally biased and constantly inject their own opinions into deciding what is true or not, so the real percentage is actually way lower. Advertisement: Behar then tried to take the deceptive soft approach and said she feels sorry for Huckabee Sanders having to defend President Trump. I feel sorry for you that you have to go out and defend those lies every day, Behar said. Huckabee Sanders wasn't interested in Behar's fake empathy. She again pointed out the PolitiFact report is bogus and that the media is on a deranged crusade against our president. It isn't only hurting him, it's hurting America. As Huckabee Sanders pointed, people like Behar push false narratives and undermine the future of this country. It inhibits us, the president's ability to succeed. His success is America's success, Huckabee Sanders pointed out. Check it out for yourself. What do you think of Huckabee Sanders? Isn't she a good representative for President Trump? Remember what she did to Jim Acosta of C. Judge Andrew Napolitano absolutely destroys 15 states suing Trump over DACA. 15 states filed a lawsuit against Trump for his DACA decision, and the funny thing is he never really made a decision. He said Congress needs to do its job and he gave it 6 months. If they can't do their job, then Trump will step in. Advertisement. So the lawsuits are just a bit premature. Besides that, they have no chance to win, as Judge Napolitano clearly explained this morning on Fox and Friends. I think it's a political stunt. Advertisement. Correct, Judge. I don't think it has a chance of surviving, and I don't even think they made the best arguments that are available against the president. Again, correct, Judge. 15 states and the District of Columbia have brought suit against the administration, but Napolitano went on to say that the state's arguments are based on a technicality, and will absolutely fail in court. You can't sue in federal court unless you've been harmed, Napolitano added. The states have not been harmed. DACA is in place right now. Donald Trump's Justice Department and Department of Homeland Security are honoring it. The president himself said it's not going to happen. No change until March 5, and by the way, the Congress may have legislated DACA and made it the law of the land. I think the lawsuit is premature and probably will be dismissed, he said. I think Trump's, heart is in the right place, but he's trying to do what he took an oath to do, which is uphold the Constitution and uphold the laws as Congress has written them, not as he wants them to be. The Daily Call.